Boy, oh boy, oh boy. The Washington Commanders on the brightest stage got the biggest win of the season. Let's get it.
After the game, it's the aftermath. Win or lose, we still wave our commander's flag. Riding with Wentz under center, making the pass. Jahan Dotson, young rookie, making a splash. The burgundy and gold, that's what we about. Jonathan Allen knocking QBs to the ground. We die hard and nobody can shut us down. Cause this is the greatest show in town. Let's go. Go, 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 go.
All right, check it. The Washington Commanders went into Cincinnati last night and put on a show, one of the best games. There was 2 Monday night games. It was Jacksonville, Buffalo, which Buffalo destroyed them. But Jayden Daniels, the quarterback that I have been raving about since last season, the guy that I picked to win the Heisman Trophy, the guy that I picked to be a Washington Commander, and the guy that I picked to win Rookie of the Year. This guy had ice in his veins. He was controlling the tempo, even though we lost Austin Eckler late in the second half to a concussion. But there was big plays after big plays after big plays after big plays. Going for it on 4th and 7. No, going on 4th and 2 and getting 7 yards out of the deal to keep the drive alive. He's over there telling Kingsbury, hey, let's go. Let's get it. He had a national media on the 4th down play, 4th and 7. He threw a strike, took a big hit, and Terry delivered. Not once, but twice in the game, Terry has delivered. Had 4 catches for 100 yards. I have to, before I even go deeper into this, let me show you the highlights of the game.
Football just did a good job recognizing there was nothing available.
2nd down and 5. Good protection, aired out. McLaurin, he's got it. 1st and goal inside the 5. And a beauty from the rookie Jayden Daniels for 56. Play clock, they don't. With 3 seconds left, Daniels flips. He's got another, and this time it's Trent Scott. The big tackler was the extra offensive line.
All right, as you see the highlights there was a lot of big moments in the game. And now today, the national media have no choice to talk about DC's own Jayden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. Going into this season, we knew this team was up for a lot of challenges, a lot of changes. But when we could finally say that, hey, we finally have a quarterback after years of struggling at that position. Hey, I got to tip my hands off to Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury. The offensive line had did an amazing job. We didn't get a lot of running out of the deal, but teams are going to be cautious about the running game. And this is what I kept saying a long time. The running game is going to set up the passing game. And when Jayden Daniels could move along, because he's going, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe he was only sacked twice last night. That's great. He set a record on Monday night for 91% completion. Something that has not been done in forever. Forever, I'm saying. So we looking at it like, hey, this guy is what we've been waiting for. This guy is who we've been waiting for. You know what I'm saying? At the trade deadline, we should do everything to upgrade more talent on the wide receiver end to be more dynamic. We got to see Jamin Brown and everything. We got to look at a lot of different things in this game. Luke McCaffrey came up big last night. He came up big last night. Like I said, Jamin Brown had a showing last night. Noah Brown, thank God for signing Noah Brown. He came up big last night. Austin Eckler came up big last night. The offensive line came up big last night. Brian Robinson came up big last night. These are the things that makes a team. A game like this last night is showing you this. Now, if you look at the schedule and look at how teams been playing, you would say, hey, the Washington Commanders don't have a shot. But winning a game on field goals last week, winning a game, outscoring the Cincinnati Bengals 38-33. When was the last time that the Washington Commanders scored almost 40 points in a game? I wait on it. This is the kind of stuff that puts a team in a stratosphere. Now, guess what? You don't have a quarterback that is going to take a lot of sacks. You got a quarterback that's going to make decisive throws. And each game he has gotten better. This is probably one of the best games out of all rookie quarterbacks. Yes, Bo Nix had a great game Sunday, but it's nothing compared to this. On Monday Night Football, where we have not hardly won a game on Monday Night Football, that says a whole lot. Even with Kirk Cousins back in the day, we couldn't win games on Monday Night Football. This goes to show you the potential, the layout, and follow the process with Cliff Kingsbury and a Dan Quinn at the helm. Now, the Washington Commanders for 2 straight games has not punted. They have not punted in 2 straight games. They have, I believe, 15 possessions they have scored. Field goals and touchdowns. Something that we said last week. We got to put the ball in the end zone. And we had scored on all 5 possessions last week that we had got field goals. Guess what would have happened? We would have blown the Giants out. Now the Washington Commanders has just put the NFC East on notice. The likes of Dallas and Philly. This division is up for grabs right now. It's not a one-man race anymore. Jayden Daniels took complete command of this game. He wanted to go for it on 4th down. He did it. Let me look at some stats real quick. He was 21 of 23 last night. That's unheard of. That means he only missed twice. for 254. He was averaging 12.1 yards a pass, 2 touchdowns, 2 sacks, 141.7 passing rating. He rushed the ball 12 times for 39 yards. His longest was 7. Austin Eckler had 3 carries for 35. Brian Robinson, 16 carries for 33. Austin Eckler's longest one was 24 yards, and that led to a touchdown. Jayden Daniels had a rushing touchdown. Austin Eckler had a rushing touchdown. Brian Robinson had a rushing touchdown. That's 3 touchdowns and 2 passing. That's 5 possessions. They only had 2 penalties in the whole game. In the whole game. They only had 2 penalties in the whole game. We sacked Joe Burrow twice. They sacked us twice. No turnovers. And this is something else too. This is the first time in NFL history that 2 teams played that where there was no punts and no penalties. Imagine that. A clean game. A clean-ass game. Now, Bengals had 30 first downs. We had 22. They had 124 yards rushing. We had 108 rushing. They had 312 yards passing. We had 248. Total yards, 436 for the Bengals, 356. That's balance. When you could throw the ball for over 200, almost 250 times, 250 yards, and get over 100 yards rushing, and be able to score on every possession, that's a recipe. Because guess what that is? That's saying to the defense, to other teams that, hey, we can't. Because I said this in the first half of the game. They was loading the box up on Jayden Daniels because they knew how dynamic a runner he was. But they left the field open, and he's hitting passes. Guess what they're going to happen for the next team? Now they're going to look at the team and say, well, we got to stop the pass. Now they're going to try to play the pass a little bit more. But guess what's going to happen? Now there's going to be open running lanes, and you got to pick and choose how you're going to play. You can't sit there and be like, okay, well, we got to do this. We got to do that. You know what I'm saying? So now, like I said, the Washington Commanders, well, they had 3 penalties total last night. That's great. And especially after all the false starts we had last week in the red zone, and we went through the whole game with 3 penalties. That is a hell of improvement. Hell of improvement. And then the Bengals only had 5. So that goes to show you how disciplined this team was last night. Very disciplined. Very disciplined. Now, we did give up 2 big plays to Jamar Chase, but that happens. But me personally, I think the advantage is for us next week when we face Kyler Murray is the fact that matter is he's a short quarterback. So we can blind his things. You know what I'm saying? So I love this. Like I said, there was no punts. Austin Eckler had the kickoff return that set up another score because he ran that for 62 yards all the way back. I forgot the guy name. I can't pronounce his name, and I ain't gonna try and mess his name up. He had another kickoff return for 25 yards. So Washington had a total of, between the two, they had a total of 87 yards total. Seabird, he didn't get to kick much. He only had one field goal for 42 yards. That was perfect. So he's something that I really love was that the Washington Commanders had 0. We needed a quarterback and we needed a kicker, and we got both. Terry had 4 catches. He was targeted 6 times, 100 yards. Luke McCaffrey, 3 targets, 3 catches for 44 yards. Zach Ertz, 5 targets, 5 catches for 36 yards. Noah Brown, target 3 times, 3 catches for 29 yards. Austin Eckler, target twice, 2 catches for 22 yards. De'Ami Brown was targeted twice. He caught both of them for 16 yards. Brian Robinson, 1. Scott, the touchdown. To an offensive lineman, touchdown. That is what I love. That is what I like to see. This is where I feel like the Washington Commanders can grow. I feel like the Washington Commanders, like I said, this is the kind of defining game that propels a team to where they can say, hey, all right, now let's capitalize on it. Now you can open up the playbook a little bit more. Because if you look at the first 2 games, they didn't really open up the playbook a lot. They stayed conservative a little bit. They had some shots in the Giants game. They didn't succeed, but they took a chance in this game against Cincinnati because guess what? Cincinnati knew they could get run on. So guess what they did? They tightened up their defense against the run. They didn't want to get run on, but guess what? You left yourself open for passing. You know what I'm saying? You left yourself open for passing, and it cost you. It cost you. So Jayden Daniels right here has the highest completion in a game by a rookie ever. He set a record for that. 21 for 22, 23 passing, 54 yards passing, 40 rushing yards, and 3 touchdowns. The highest completion by a rookie ever in a game. That's history. Then come to this, he has the highest completion through 3 games for a quarterback. He's number 2 to Drew Brees. And guess what? He's in the middle. Drew Brees 1, he's 2nd, Tom Brady 3rd. That's excellent damn company to put your quarterback in. You know what I'm saying? So I love the game. I'm gonna go back and watch the game. I love it. The game was exciting. The game was everything that I felt was. I look forward to it. And I said this. I told my contemporaries, I said, if Washington win this game, we're not losing against Arizona or Cleveland. I said that. I think because if the Giants could beat Cleveland, I know damn sure well we could play, and we won't have to worry about Myles Garrett. So that's a plus for us on that side. I think that Arizona Cardinals is beatable. Now I think that if we get past Arizona and Arizona and Cleveland, that'll put us at 4-1 going into the Baltimore game. And guess what? Even if we lose that game, we'd be 4-2. We beat Carolina. That'd be 5-2. We would definitely beat Chicago. 6-2. We beat the Giants again. 7-2. Then a tough game against Pittsburgh. A game we probably I said we lose. That's 7-3. Washington has a good chance to strive all of these records. So, Commander fans, y'all have a lot to be excited for. I have a lot to be excited for. Like I said, Jayden Daniels is him. The magnitude of this game last night, the magnitude of this Monday night game, the way it played out, couldn't play no better because Cincinnati did not have an answer for him at all. Even Jamar Chase, after the press conference, said Jayden Daniels is effing good. He said he never got to see him until he saw him last night. He was like, wow. And he's for LSU. Joe Burrow, even though Cincinnati's struggling right now, they will be fine. But when you got a first-year rookie goes into your house and outperform you, that says a lot. That says a lot where this team is going and how this team is going to be built. Like I said, the NFC is up for grabs. Everybody's talking about Dallas and Philly. Well, now They are talking about the Washington Commanders. I'm gonna let y'all listen to what some of the national media had to say about the Commanders right now. Because the fact of the matter is that now people, especially on Good Morning Football.
And that is what I would say. This is on national television in a hostile environment against a team that was absolutely desperate for a win against one of the best defensive coordinators in the league, in Lou Anarumo. And the 23-year-old Jayden Daniels, in his third game as a player, set a rookie record for single game completion percentage. 91% he completed his passes, and he led Washington to scores on every single one of his drives, not including the kneel down. And the best part? No turnovers. He was magnificent, but beyond that, he was fearless. Let's go right to the fourth quarter here. They're holding on to a 5-point lead, and Cliff Kingsbury says, we're going for it. 4th and 4. A 4th and 4 play. Anarumo sends the dogs, and he finds Zach Ertz. All right. So they have a couple more plays, and it's 3rd and 7. And let me set this up for you. It's 3rd and 7, and they call a timeout here because they're a mess. And it's like, all right, they're going to either kick the field goal or they're going to punt or whatever. Kingsbury sends them back out there. And on 3rd and 7 with a 5-point lead, when you're a rookie quarterback in a hostile environment against a desperate team in a desperate situation, to do this is absolutely amazing. Troy Aikman, Joe Buck, as stunned as everyone was. Check it out. They needed 7. They got plenty more.
There's some confusion going on in the huddle right now. I mean, they're not getting the personnel that they want. They're up against the clock, not what you want. Jayden Daniels just has to know that he cannot take a sack. They can't get McCaffrey. They've only got 10 guys on the field. They're down in 7. This one is launched from McLaurin. He's got it. Touchdown.
It's insane. And listen, per next-gen stats, which we love, that touchdown pass had a 10% chance, a 10% likelihood of happening. And guess what? They scored it. It's the least likely touchdown of the entire season based on next-gen stats. 10 men on the field, confusion everywhere. Luke McCaffrey looking like this, like, where do I go? Where do I go? Rookies all over the field. And Jayden Daniels just throws a beautiful dime. The Commanders are 2-1. Jamie, like you said, they have not punted in 2 games. They are rolling, and a star is born, and I cannot wait to see the Commanders next week. Because guess what? Cliff Kingsbury, who's their offensive coordinator, guess where he's going?
Talk about it.
He's going down to Arizona to face Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. That should be an interesting one. Suddenly we've got a game, Commanders-Cardinals. Who would have thought that back in August?
You hear it. Tell you now, they have excitement. Teams been waiting for the Commanders to bounce back. They've been waiting for the Commanders to get back in to the fold. National media. We sold the team. We hired new personnel. We got a new owner. We got a new owner. We have new GM. We have it's everything new, exciting for this team. And like I said, if the Washington Commanders goes in to Arizona and beat Arizona, trust and believe this team could win the division. This team could definitely win the conference. So with that being said, this is my report, man. I couldn't wait. I was going to do it last night, but I'll just tell you, the Washington Commanders are here. If you don't believe it, you better believe it now. Until then, like, comment, subscribe, leave your comments below. Keep them bells ringing every time I drop a hardcore video. And you know what I always say at the end of my video. You know what it is. Let's go.
After the game, it's the aftermath. Win or lose, we still wave our commander's flag. Riding with Wentz under center, making the pass. Jahan Dotson, young rookie, making a splash. The burgundy and gold, that's what we about. Jonathan Allen knocking QBs to the ground. We die hard and nobody can shut us down. cuz this is the greatest show in town. Let's go. Go, 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 go.